Wednesday at 5 p.m. for Likkle Byte Ideas, where we discuss how Likkle ideas are transformed into big dreams. On the toolkit, and you will access a lot of resources. A lot of the information that we presented here today, there are a lot of activity sheets, so we encourage you to download some of that information. Also, there's a digital swag bag with
Well, good afternoon, everyone. I am so glad that you're here. It's been a while. Welcome to our Likkle Byte Ideas Show. We have taken a little break. It's been a little busy, but we wanted to come back and meet with the various persons who are putting things together and making changes and making waves. So for those of you who are from Antigua, and I would say from the Caribbean, you probably have heard of Joe Martin. Started out as photogenesis, and in fact started out as an individual doing his photography, and then he opened up photogenesis, and he is now doing Julees. So we have him in the studio, and we're going to be talking about what he's been doing with Julees, all the collaborations, and as an entrepreneur, how he has been able to pull people together. So welcome on stage, Joe Martin.
Hi.
Hey, Joe, how are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. How are things going with you?
It's been hectic. Photogenesis is busy because it's the time of the year we do lots of branding. And Photogenesis has moved from just being exclusively a photography business. We are firmly into the imaging business right now.
Okay.
And, which, for those who don't know, there's a wider umbrella of imaging, of which just to the back of you, you have a lovely image of a pie chart on the board. And I can tell you what my first week at college when I did photography, my instructor came in and said some crazy stuff. And one of the things he mentioned to me, if you go to a supermarket and unknown to you overnight, some crazy person went in and took all the brands, all the labels of all the kinds, all the products. And you just have empty plastics and there's nothing to let you know what product. How would you know what to buy? And everyone was stumped and says, you won't know what to buy. You could easily pick up a can of dog food thinking you're picking up a can of milk.
Absolutely.
And he said that's the power of the imaging industry. It is huge. We take it for granted. You have a new baby, and one of the first things you do, you get an image book. And he proved to us those images just don't get there by magic. It starts with a photographer, with a graphic artist, with a designer, putting all of those things together, coming up with their whole marketing plan. And we moved from just being exclusively a photography business because I studied a lot of my predecessors, and photography requires a lot of energy. And I decided I don't want to end up like the Twaits and the Attils and some of the other photographers who into their 70s, 80s were still working hard. And it's a matter of when you're young and you're in your prime and you're doing well at your game, you need to invest in another side of the imaging industry which don't require as much running around, but will still yield benefits. So about 20 years ago, I went to a trade show and was introduced to wide format printing, which
Wide
to me,
format?
wide format. So we do billboards, banners, vehicle wraps, any sort of graphic work, posters, and it required me to rethink, retool, retrain myself because I didn't go to college to learn that stuff, and I had to retrain. I attended several trade shows and learned how to do this, and thanks to YouTube, you were able to go online and see different tutorials and get a better understanding of the industry. And today, the wide format side of the business is busier than the photography side of the business because I've backed off from doing a lot of the events and late nights and going to carnival shows and hustling here and hustling there. So the work come to me rather than I go to the work. It's all about working smart, and the payoff has been great. We have invested in several large format machines. As a matter of fact, just this morning, I spent at least an hour online talking to somebody 12 hours ahead of us, all the way in China, because we're looking at investing in a piece of equipment made by Mutech. And that will give us the ability to print on virtually anything. It will give us versatility beyond what we can do now. You could walk in with a golf ball, you could walk in with a cup, you could walk in with any shape, any size items within reason that can fit within the machine. And it's a UV printing, it cures instantly. And so we're looking at heading into that direction of the business. It's not available in Antigua at the moment. So with this sort of industry, you have to keep thinking around the curve. So it's been pretty busy. And out of photogenesis, we were able to buy a piece of property in town, which we sat on for about 10 years, not knowing what to do. And then finally, my youngest brother said, yeah, you want to do a little jam session during the weekends. And the amount of people came out into that rough setting, there was no organizing to it. I said, hey, wow. I mean, if we can get these people in this rough setting. And I thought about it, came up with an idea, and boom, there was Julees.
Wow.
And it is our description of it. It is elegantly rustic. Well, intimately, elegantly rustic.
So before you go into Julees, I just want to make the point, as I listened to you, you honed in on always making sure you kept your axe sharpened.
Yes.
And you were thinking ahead of, you don't want to be like the forefathers of photography in Antigua,
Right.
where they into their 70s. So you realize you needed to have another plan going so that when you hit retirement, you're prepared. And these are the kinds of things that we talk about a lot. Sharpening your tools, your axe, making sure you're ready so that you can pivot when necessary, preparing for retirement. So I'm like, tick, 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 check, check, check. You're doing all the right things. So tell us more about Julees.
Well, Julees, we built and we tried to do something different that was unheard of in Antigua. And in sticking to that topic, one of the things I kept in mind, because we were looking around and there are lots of things to do, places to go, but people of our caliber, our age group, and I'm saying our.
It's our. I remember the days, Joe. It's our.
Because, I mean, we know each other going way back to school days. So
back.
I'm taking the liberty to say our caliber. That,
Absolutely.
I mean, the times have changed, and I was thinking, listen, when I get to retirement, I want to have somewhere I can go and relax and nobody blowing smoke or trousers down and doing all of these crazy stuff. Yes. So I set about building Julees, I wanted to have an intimate, elegant, rustic venue, and it has turned out beautifully. We built the venue without losing one tree. Their property
Oh,
actually have
awesome.
two of the biggest Julie mango trees you'll ever find, and that's where the name came from, Julees, named after the mango. And
Nice.
there are another mango tree on property, and there's a kidney mango tree that overhung on the property. In
Mm-hmm.
addition to that, we have two, well, we call them the Christmas bush, but
Mm-hmm.
there's another name for it that eludes me at the moment.
Bay leaf.
And bay leaf, there you
Mm-hmm.
go.
Mm-hmm.
And we built around everything. Even the kitchen is built around a tree because the contractor who was helping me at the time, oh, let's cut it down. And I said, no, I'm not going to cut the tree down. We're going to go around it. And the whole facility has turned out beautiful.
It really
And
has.
people are always looking for something different. And we have set about to keep it clean, keep it fresh. We are always trying to do something slightly different and ahead of the curve. We try to attract a different type of entertainment. So we're into jazz, we're into elegant evening when you want to come and do something different. That's what Julie's is about, to be able to come and relax and feel comfortable in a nice, safe, clean environment. And it has turned out beautiful. There are some days that, it's slow, there's not much to do. And we have the younger ones who would say, let's try this, let's do that, let's have a band, let's have a party. And I'm like, yes, but we have a particular clientele and a market audience that we're going after. And that audience has been left languishing because there's not much to do when you get to a particular age and you ask someone, let's go out. Well, where is it to go? It's all young people going on. And I'm like, Julie's is the place for you.
Julees is the place. I
Right.
love that.
So on the property, we have our own restaurant. During COVID, we set aside, we we did over the kitchen completely.
Mm-hmm.
We
Mm-hmm.
upgraded it. It's a state-of-the-art kitchen. It's actually bigger. I've had many chefs from many hotels who come and say, wow, this is bigger than my hotel at some brand name hotels.
Wow.
I've had many events. We've had weddings, we've had cocktails, and we've hosted some of really great parties there.
Nice.
And yeah, so it has worked out quite well and it's still working for us. We have a
Yeah.
brilliant chef on board, Chef Tony,
Okay.
and the staff is growing and they're beginning now to understand my target audience and what I'm looking for. And it is so far so good.
And I can attest to that. I've had food from you, from your chef. I don't know if it's the current chef, but it's been good. The atmosphere is it's second to none. And the fact that I think one of the things I like about it is you're in town, but it's like you're not in town. So it's
That's
such
correct.
a stark difference
Yeah.
from hustle and bustle. Then you turn into Julie's and the rustic charm, the elegance, the mango trees. FYI, mangoes are my favorite fruit. Hint,
Well,
hint.
the trees are loaded, so you need to come home. No,
Absolutely.
no,
Absolutely. I'm going to be checking you out soon.
and intertwined in Julie's, I had to add my photography touch. So
Oh, yes.
when we did the fence, I mean, at the back of the photography, it was all galvanized, and I was like, no, this don't look, this is not elegant enough. And I was like, wait, come on, you got the tools, let's do it. So I spent a few days down at the museum, and we got permission to copy a lot of historic photos. I had some in my archives that I've collected over the years, and we made a museum. For those who haven't been there, there's a picture wall that,
Mhm,
oh, I've had
mhm.
people who come to Julie's and they have just stayed in the entrance. And like, come on in, I'm coming, I'm coming. They just couldn't get past the entrance. Where did you get the idea? So we have all of these beautiful pictures coming in and then intertwined around the perimeter of the inside walls. There are lots of historic photos. So it's quite a bit of history, quite a bit of culture and the spot is very significant because it's George Weston. He had his cannon factory there, and quite a lot of things happened at that location back in the early 1900s, late 1800s. So it's a very historic venue. And one of the other things that I recently found out, that when you're at Julees, if you have noticed, you actually have to go up a flight of stairs to get in. And that property, if you look on the right and on the left of the property, they are significantly lower. So that entire block is elevated about 6 feet higher than the block on the right and the block on the left. And I had a historian who came by and said, what's the reason for that? And I was like, I've always wondered, why is here much higher? Then he said to me, Country Pond is not a natural pond. Country Pond was dug out by slaves. And all of the material that they dug from the pond, they dumped it there. So over the years, it has settled. And that's why where Julees is, it's elevated about 6 feet higher than the rest of the surrounding landscape. And I found that very interesting.
Yeah.
Another tidbit of information, historic information. During my photography working at Government House, I was able to get a copy of a map, which is a copy of the first survey map ever done of St. John's.
Wow.
That's dated 1788.
Oh, wow.
Being a bit inquisitive, I searched in the map, and the name of the person who owned that property was on the map. I give you one guess as to what her last name was.
Not Martin.
It is Martin.
Oh, wow.
Totally amazing. I don't know. It's Priscilla. The name is Priscilla Martin, going all the way back to 1788. I don't know if it's divine intervention.
Divine.
But I found that very, very interesting. I have to do a name search to see if by some chance we're related in some way.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. Full circle from 1788.
Full circle. But yeah, that picture wall that you have, that is amazing. Amazing. So I think you're really onto something. And the other thing I wanted to point out is, here it is that you have transformed something. You had it for a number of years, and you transformed something into a profit-making center. And lots of times you want to do something new, and instead of looking at what we have, you want to maybe look at the Joneses and see what the Joneses have and do what they do. But you focused on what you had and built on that. And that's commendable. And the local aspect, the fact that you saved the trees, sustainability, that's great. That's great. I see Julees really being something that's going to last for a very long time.
Well, we do hope so.
Oh, yeah, I see that. And what I would like you to speak about is the collaborations that you've had over the years with Julees. So it's Julees, but you've collaborated with so many other groups to bring different types of activity to Julees.
Right.
So tell us a bit more about that.
Even before I go into the recent collaborations, one of the things that a lot of folks don't know about Julees, it's a 95% green project. A lot of the lumber, it took us 4 years to build before we were able to hold our first event. And almost all of the lumber, even the galvanized on the roof, we used to go to the hardware store and buy damaged lumber. The kitchen, I said to a friend of mine, the kitchen, we bought 3,000 damaged blocks. And that's a nice way to save money, because after you plaster it, you won't know it's damaged. Right? And you get almost a 50% off damaged blocks. So
Wow.
there are little ways of saving. I mean, you buy damaged lumber, sometimes you still have to cut off the end. And so Julees is really green. But of recent times, our collaboration with Grandma Marie, your
Mm-hmm.
wonderful mom.
Oh, yes.
Um,
Because you're her son now.
exactly. I mean, Grandma Marie, she is something. And, both herself and my mom are the same age, just a
She
few
told
weeks
me.
apart.
She told me.
Same
Yeah.
age, just a few weeks apart. I
Did,
found that
did they
so
meet?
amazing.
Did they
Yeah.
meet? Oh, good. Because she told me she wanted
Yes,
to.
of course. I have pictures of them in the kitchen cooking together. They took over the kitchen. And
Right.
yeah.
That's
So
great.
the collaboration there is good. We've had many collaborations with different with chefs. I
Mm-hmm.
remember sometime we collaborated with Jackie Beezer, who came over from Barbuda and did
Nice. I
something
know
where
Jackie.
she took over the kitchen.
Uh-huh.
I've sent her an invitation that we need to do one more again.
Nice.
Um, we've had collaboration with a number of events and shows and plays and skits. And just recently we had a graduation ceremony here by Miss Davis School. I mean,
Nice. Your
so
neighbor.
my neighbor.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes, it's not all about the money.
Oh,
And
I
we
know.
we use these collaborative events as a marketing tool because believe it or not, a lot of people still don't know where Julie's is. It's like, where is that? I said, you know
Okay.
where the parking lot is? Yes. I've had
Mm-hmm.
people who come in and say, wait, so much space behind here. Wait, I park in the parking lot all the time. I never knew behind here is so
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
And we use that as our marketing tool. And most times, out of these collaborative events, we always get one or two persons who come back and say, hey, I want to have a cocktail or I want to have a birthday party. So
Mm-hmm.
there is consistent spin-off and revenue stream that derived from that. So
Mm-hmm.
these collaborative efforts are very, very good. And for anybody who have businesses, sometimes you have to think out the box. Sometimes you have to think of, you will get your returns down the road.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
to partner with someone and finding the right partner, finding the right
Mm-hmm.
person who will sync with you or form a synergy with you. It's very,
Mm-hmm.
very important in business.
I got you. So tell us about what you're doing for Carnival. And I'm actually going to be adding Jareed, who is just joined. Oops. Jareed, you need to mute. You need to mute, Jareed.
Okay.
You
Good
need to
Hi,
mute.
afternoon,
Julie.
everyone.
Jareed, you need to mute. Get the background noise going, gone. Okay, that's a little better. Good to see you. So Joe was just telling us about um, his Carnival lineup.
Well,
We have
even
some. We're
before
gonna have.
Yeah, go ahead, Joe.
even before the carnival lineup, if we were to take things in order, we have a big event coming up on July 22nd. I
Ah,
mean,
okay.
the carnival is August 4th. So I would want to talk about July 22nd. Let's take it in order. July 22nd is World Mango Day. And
Oh,
I know we call that favorite word of yours again. And, you know, Reed pointed it out to me. I didn't even know there was a World Mango Day.
oh
And she said,
yeah,
Joe, you have the ideal name. The place is called Julees, like Julie Mango.
exactly.
And you know, Dewey, you know your sister. I got this stream of
Very well.
information. I
Okay.
got
I think
so
we
much
have.
information. I'm overloaded. We got to do this. We
Okay.
got to do
Sorry.
that. Up to this afternoon, I was on the radio, on ABS radio, promoting it. Tomorrow morning, I'm on ABS TV. I'm going to do some promotions about it.
Nice,
And
nice.
so, World Mango Day will be celebrated at Julie's. Um, we're going to have music. We're going to
Mm.
have vendors. We'll have the mangoes are beginning to ripe. We have quite a bit of mangoes uh, coming in. And we will be doing everything mango, mango infused, mango cakes,
Ooh.
mango cheese, mango jams.
Ooh.
If you are a lover of mangoes, Julees is the place to be. And then as the sun sets in the evening, what movie are we going to be showing? Of course,
One and only.
the sweetest mango.
Yeah.
So, and we'll have a number of tappers prepared.
Nice.
The reader sent me lots of suggestions that I've shared with the chef. So if you want to try something different, to do something different, you need to come to Julie's on July 22nd.
July 22nd. Okay,
Yeah,
we got that
World
date.
Mango Day. And
World
of
Mango
course,
Day.
the read can expand on that a
Oh,
little
yes.
bit.
And then tell us quickly, because we have another guest that we're going to be switching over to soon. So tell us a
Right.
bit more about your
Okay, hi
carnival lineup.
everyone.
Yeah,
Sorry
hold
to
a
be
sec.
late, but we were getting the food ready.
Yeah, hold 1 second, Dewey. He's just finishing up talking about his carnival lineup.
Right. So
Oh, I'm
this is
sorry.
our this is our fourth year of Julie's Juve Jam. And look, to put it mildly, it's an event that the grown folks, the folks who knees and toes and legs and backs can't take the rigors of the road, those people who
Our
don't,
age group.
our age group, those folks who don't want to be in the chaos of downtown, and sometimes it gets ugly. Sometimes Juve get shut down early because of some fighting and cutlass wielding. We have developed and we have created a space where you can come and party without the chaos, without the ruckus, in a nice, clean, friendly atmosphere. We'll have, as usual, 4 police officers. They'll be there. We have a stellar lineup: Obstinate, King Short Shirt, Calypso Jim, Calypso Sleepy, and a number of other entertainers and musicians. They will be there. Another thing we have done, we have included other vendors. So the parking lot, which is now being paved to make it more comfortable for everyone,
Mm-hmm.
is going to be transformed to what we are calling our vintage village. So
Wow.
we've amassed about 15 different vendors who are going to be providing authentic Antiguan food and local delicacies. We also have a tent from Barbuda. So the Barbuda, and you know the Barbuda tent is very,
Oh,
very
yeah.
popular.
Yes, nice.
And we have the tents with the bun and cheese, the crab tent. We have the local breakfast tent and a wide variety of anything Antiguan, the coconut tent, snow cone tent.
Oh, wow.
All of these things will be available. Everything that you can get downtown on the
Mm-hmm.
road on a regular Juve morning, you can
Wow.
come and get it all in one spot. And of
Oh, you're
course,
making me
we
hungry.
won't we won't forget the local breakfast tent. So
Oh,
we
nice.
have the local breakfast.
So
And
vintage village.
so that's going to be in the transformed courtyard, then the transformed parking lot. Then inside in the courtyard, we have a stage, we have 2 bands, Cutting Edge and Spirited Band.
Oh,
We have an
nice.
active bar, and we'll be, as part of the payment, you'll get a choice of soups. We have a waffle station, we have um, drinks, and it's a fun, festive time where we have now become a premier. In other words, Julie's Juve Jam is the premier Juve morning party. And
Yes.
just today, we had one of our major sponsors who came on board and said, Joe, we love what you're doing. We want to be a part of it. They've given us a major discount, and it's premier beverages.
Oh,
And
sweet.
so, right, we've had the buy-in of many folks, and it's a good
Great.
idea to be off the road and not being in the chaos. And the elderly, the retirees, and those persons who just want to be in a nice, safe, secure venue, be entertained, have some fun, meet some friends they haven't seen in a while. The
Yeah.
folks in the diaspora, they're coming in folks from the hotels, because you know the hotels are not going to send their guests on
Mm-hmm.
downtown. So we've had a number of hotels who said, hey, we're going to be sending people to Julees. We
Oh,
want them
that's
to be safe
awesome.
and secure. And that's what
Okay.
it's all about. They can come and enjoy the Antiguan food, the Antiguan flavor, the Antiguan carnival. And we
Nice.
are happy with how the Julees Juve Jam has turned out. This is our fourth year. We've never had an incident. It's pure fun, love, and as we say, it's fantastic.
Fantastic. And I love the fact that you are collaborating. That's excellent. Thank you so much, Joe.
You're welcome.
You didn't give the price. What's the cost?
Oh, the cost. Well, our advanced early bird tickets are all gone. That was 175. Our regular tickets are
What's that?
$200. Just that. Our
Oh,
regular tickets are $200, and you get entertainment from 4 a.m. So
okay.
in the Vintage Village, you're going to have entertainment. You have Ebonite Steel Band and Point and Villa Iron Band in the village, starting at 4 a.m. to 6:30.
Mm-hmm.
And from 4 a.m. to 6:30, we also have what we call our wake-up call. So included in that price of your ticket, the wake-up call, you can get your soup, your warm or hot soup. You get your hot bush tea, or
Wake you up.
you have a choice of two porridges, your oats or your cornmeal pap.
Whoa, okay.
And then from 10:30 until supplies last, we'll give you a second round of soup. You can either get your goat water, your seafood chowder, your veggie soup, or your sauce. And all of
Hmm.
that is included with all of the entertainment that we have
Nice.
with the two bands, Cutting Edge and Spirited Band. I think you're getting value for money.
More
And
than.
our Juve starts at 4 a.m. and we conclude at 2:30. Remember, the
Wow.
regular Juve finishes at 10 o'clock. We
Mm-hmm.
go until 2:30 because
Wow.
it's in a private facility, it's enclosed, and
Yeah.
it has become the premier private party, Juve party.
Love it. Love it. Joe, this was so great. Thank you so much. Um, you very well might see me.
I hope to see
So,
you. Tickets are still
absolutely.
available. Grab
Absolutely.
grab the read and bring her along.
I'll try and do that. So let me switch over to Jareed. Hi, Jareed.
Sorry to be late. Joe,
Oh,
I
there's a bad interference. Like,
oh
do you
my
have? Are
goodness.
you close to another?
You know what? Use your phone problem.
Yeah, probably need to
Yeah.
mute stuff.
We have some phones on in here, so trying to regulate. But I'm going
Okay.
to have Chef Murphy come on camera.
Okay.
We started eating, and of course, we are doing a demo using a number of Grandma Miri's products, including Pep
Okay.
Up the Pot, which he loves. I'll show you
Okay.
the Pep Up the Pot.
Nice.
What did we do? You gotta go around. Oh, satchel? Okay. Okay. No, put it back. Okay. All
So
right,
this,
Murphy, come
so
say
they're
hello.
live in New York.
Hi everyone.
Hey, Chef Murphy, how are you?
I am well, I am well, I am well. I am just
Okay.
trying to show the versatility with Pep Up the Pot. Because
Okay.
we're talking about them thing here,
What's them thing, y'all?
saltfish cake,
Oh,
as
my.
opposed to salted codfish balls.
Okay.
And
Yes, help us
we
check.
have
Mm-hmm.
stepped it up a notch that we're serving it with a wonderful sauce. So you see, you have to really make sure that you recognize the potential of Pep of the Pot because this is
Okay.
so versatile, it's unbelievable.
Oh,
People
wow.
would not believe the benefits that I have received from using this product.
So what's that sauce called?
Chef Murphy went to get some more products. Can you guys see?
Okay. No, we saw a bit
Can you
of.
add the camera that says Desi so we can also see from another camera?
I'm not seeing Desi.
Okay, there are two to reads. Can you add the other one?
Okay.
So because we have two cameras on Murphy.
Eh?
Okay,
Wow.
here we
Okay.
go.
All
Okay,
right.
so we'll speak and then the other camera
Okay, cool. So we were talking with Joe about collaboration and the wonderful job he has done with Julees, and we got such a great um, history into how he
So we can
started with photogenesis and developed. Oh, no, there's too much. Let me mute this one then. There's too much interference. Okay, there's somebody who has their.
yeah, look at that.
Yeah, we need to get the mics. Everybody needs to mute because
I
there's
want
a
you to pay
interference.
special attention to this is the
Okay,
traditional to the modern variety.
so you have to
That
tilt. The
it
camera is
is a
on
phenomenon.
him, but not
It is
the
not as
product.
sweet so as these. Not saying that these are not good, but when you use potatoes to make your cottage ball, it creates a world of difference. And when you have
Okay.
something like pepper of the pot, it adds an elevation level to the whole dish that it just cries for gourmet. Hey,
Okay.
and of course
So
I'm one of those people that like the gourmet business.
so can Chef Murphy hear me?
I have quite a few stuff to show you guys about
Okay, so he can't
all
hear.
the things that you can use pepper the pot dish. Not only is it good with foods, it's actually good with desserts because you're cool.
Oh,
The kitchen is
really?
my lab, and I like to experiment with different seasonings that come across my kitchen counter. And in doing so, I actually, Grandma Mary had sent me some sorrel, and she had an old recipe that I kind of bastardized. And I cooked that, so now it's a full-fledged dessert. So, but before we do that, let me bring out the main course, which is
Okay.
stuffed chicken breast with spinach and a pepper of the pot sauce. That's going to blow your
Okay.
socks off.
Okay. I wish you
Thank
guys
for-
were here. We can
Right.
smell it
So
already.
oh wow. So this is Chef Murphy collaborating with Grandma Mary because we're talking about collaboration and bringing people together. So I am assuming Chef Murphy, in collaborating with Grandma Mary, he's using her products
Oh.
to produce whatever he's producing.
Oh.
And
Oops. Oh my God. What's that?
that's okay, right? Pep up the pot.
Here you go.
Awesome.
Pep up the
Awesome.
pot.
Yes. So that's the Grandma Mary's Pep Up the Pot that Chef Murphy is using with the different
Bring it
products.
closer.
Cool. So Jareed, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, I don't think they're hearing. Can you hear me, Jareed? Okay, so they're not hearing. Let me see.
I'm hearing you.
Right. I think
We're
they
getting
are
there.
muted.
We're coming around.
Oh,
Are
yeah.
you hearing me, Jareed?
Good people in there.
So okay. So while we're getting their act together, what we're doing is, Joe, we're focusing
Right.
on you guys also grab a how you
Okay.
and what Chef
Yes.
Murphy is doing is
Yeah.
showing his
The wait
collaboration
service is
with Grandma Mary's
behind.
Pep Up the Pot seasoning. I'm
Right.
not sure if you are you aware of her Pep Up the Pot seasoning?
Something tells me
No,
you guys are going to be using the same plate.
Oh,
I'm just
they gotta
hearing it
speak
through
to me about
first.
that.
Let me move the spoons.
Yeah, they
I need
gotta
to
speak to
get
me about
some.
that. Absolutely, we're gonna arrange that. Definitely going
Yeah.
to arrange that.
As a matter of fact, I was supposed to go by mom yesterday to get my mango cheese.
Oh my goodness, yes.
I promised her when it comes. So I
Yes,
will go after this
Okay.
interview
Okay.
done.
absolutely. Right. Um, so what he's been doing is using her seasoning and using them in different products, and they have a live show really where they have persons sampling the things that he's done. I'm very keen on finding out how he used Pep Up the Pot with desserts, because I've used it, but that's for chicken. And I never thought of using it with desserts.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So those of you who are watching, we're just trying to get Chef Murphy on stage. Not sure what's going on here. So what's happening now, Doreed? For some reason, she's not trying to get the what? Ah, okay. Oh, so that's the sauce.
Oh, he's pepping up the pot.
He's pepping up
actually
the pot.
cooking.
Yes, yes.
He's actually cooking.
So, Doreed, are you hearing us? Yeah, there seems to be a disconnect here. I'm not sure why, but they're getting their act together. They're actually just making me hungry. That's the problem. Doreed. Okay, something isn't happening there. So, as they get their act together, we will continue our conversation, Joe, because I'm so intrigued with this vintage village. So the vintage village that you spoke about, is that included in the cost, or each person, each booth, they would have their own prices for their stuff? Okay, that makes sense.
Each vendor, they pay us a small token fee of being there.
Right. Okay.
They have an exclusive audience. What we did, we set aside to have one of everything. So if you're selling cane, no one else is allowed to sell cane. If you're selling crab, one booth selling crab. So you don't have any competition. There must be somebody who will want something. I know last year everybody wanted Barbuda, and she was overwhelmed. She was sold out instantly.
Not sure what's in there.
The baked goods sold out quickly as well. That was Silver Street Bakery. Unfortunately, he doesn't have the staff. He said he would love to be here this year, and that's why we still don't have anybody who do baked goods. But he came with his bun and cheese, bread and cheese, hot bread, and his coconut tarts, his Massa Harris, all of these.
So we're not having those this time?
Well, I would love to have those, but I'm still waiting and trying to find.
Let me check. I have to check. Blow away.
Somebody who can do it. If you have a link, you know of someone, hey, give them my number.
Somebody who's listening, check Blow away. Yeah, I'll see.
Blow away. They're in Pickett's.
In Pickett's, yes.
I think I know where that is. Between that little alley there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta go and check them out. I'm gonna go and do that this evening.
That would be good.
That plate looks so good. What's that?
It does. That's what I want to hear. Let me see if they can tell us about it.
Wow.
Can you tell us about this, Doreed?
She's not hearing.
Yeah, she's not hearing.
But back to the vintage village. The vintage village really came about as a need to expand the food offerings, because I recognize that if I tried to do everything, it will be crazy for me. And rather than doing everything, it was easier that I collaborated with a number of vendors. They pay a nominal fee. I mean, $250 for being there. Whatever they sell at is their business, whatever, and we just encourage people to support them. And everyone had a good time. We even had Asham last year. You remember Asham back in the school?
Asham, of course.
Coming out your nose and all of that.
I've not had that in years. Let me see. Dewey, can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Okay, sorry. We weren't hearing you before. We saw the beautiful plate. We saw the beautiful plate, and they're asking what. Oh, we can hear you, but I don't think you were hearing us, because we were asking you. You had a picture of the. Okay, I'm not so right there. Okay, this is not going to work. Yeah, this is not working. So not sure what's happening. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the internet is breaking up.
Internet, it's breaking up. Yeah. Yeah. But hey, you tell us about your vintage village and your Julie's Juve Jam.
So the Vintage Village, it's bubbling this year. Number of vendors, and
So it's more than last year?
actually it's just about the same amount.
Oh, okay.
We maybe two more because last year we did not have crab and we didn't have snow cone last year. But this year we definitely gonna have crabs and snow cones.
Oh, wow.
And I'm just trying to find.
I think you're going to
Right.
be bursting at the seams.
I hope so. So this year we have the Barbuda tent, we have the snow cone tent, and he's coming with snow cones, cut cane, and bottled cane juice.
Oh, wow.
We
Okay.
have the boss. The boss lady is going to be in the house,
Who's
and
that?
she moss boss.
Let me just take a lot of pictures.
She does all these infused sea mosses, and
I've heard of her.
she's going to be there. You need to taste her stuff. She's good.
Wow. Yeah, I've heard of her.
I'm still looking for someone to provide cut coconuts, freshly cut coconuts, and bottled coconut water.
Okay.
So we still have that available.
So fresh coconuts.
We have someone who'll be doing sugar cake and the scotch and Dutty gal
Oh,
and the
my.
cinnamon sticks. And she'll also be doing the bottled jams and jellies and all different types. We have someone that we are looking for to do baked goods. We have the Massa Harris, the Bambula, and these things. We still have that vacancy available. We have local ice cream, and she promises to bring at least 10 different flavors of local ice cream.
I love this. Look how you're just bringing everybody together. I love
Everybody together. So we have a tent with the pork. You know, Antigua love pork, so you can get your pigtails and pork in any style.
that.
We still have vacancy for the roast corn. We have someone with roast corn, and we'd want them to do asham as well. And we have the local juices. You know, Antiguans love their local juice. So we have someone who's going to be providing a wide variety of local juice. We have the rice pudding with the mar and the head skin and all of that.
You thought of everything.
We have the crab, right? Crab and wheels. He promises to be there. And of course, you have the local breakfast. And the local breakfast, you will get all of your favorite foods in the local breakfast. You chop up your salt fish, your boiled egg, your fried plantain. You have a choice of either dukkana or fungi, your mackerels, your pumpkin fritters, your cassie, and your fried dumpling, or your local wood bread. I mean, we went ahead, I ordered 40 loaves of the local wood bread. So I don't know if you remember where Daniel Bakery used to be right at the bottom of South Street.
Yes, of course.
Right. So we went.
Daniel, though, isn't that? I thought it was the guy who. Oh my, not Daniel. Is who I had in mind.
Oh, maybe I got the name wrong then. So
it's not Daniel. Daniel was higher up on South Street.
Miss Peters run the bakery now.
Yes.
Yeah. So
cool.
We we try to think of a lot of things, and I don't know if there's a local delicacy or food that we've missed.
I don't think so. You seem to have captured everything.
Yeah.
So
I'm looking forward to having them there, so we could get a taste.
Absolutely.
And the folks in the diaspora, they usually go wild. They buy stuff to take back home because, you know, it's not something they can get readily. And they always enjoy it. They enjoy the steel band and the iron band. I mean, last year we had a little bit of a hiccup, but this year promises to be good. We're on top of everything. And the village opens promptly at 4 o'clock, and you'll be serenaded by Ebonite Steel Orchestra and Poynton Villa Iron Band.
All right.
So I hope you make it home.
I
You
will.
can get a first-hand taste.
I will be there. Let's see if we can, because we have to wrap up in 5 minutes. Let's see if we can speak with Julees to see if she can tell us what's happening at that end. Anything from your end, Julees?
Julees is eating. Julees has an eye on the food.
Okay, so we're not hearing Julees. We're seeing her but not hearing, and we're seeing the food.
The pot. Look at that pot.
It looks good. It looks good. It does.
Thank you.
But we're just not hearing. That's beautiful. I wonder what's that.
Hello?
I wonder what's that.
Oh, no, not at all.
Yeah, so they're just enjoying, but we're not. You know? Oh wow. All right, so folks, we're gonna wrap this up because we're not hearing, and they have their thing going on.
I know.
But I'm not hearing her. So yep, that's not gonna work. All right, Joe, thank you so much. This was so informative. I go back to when you started. I like the fact that you keep your axe sharp. You're making sure you stay ahead of the curve. You're making sure that you remain relevant, which is so good.
Yes.
And you've been in the business for a long time, so that kudos goes to you. Yeah.
1990 until now.
Wow.
I know, time flies, huh?
I remember when my boys were babies, you took the baby pictures. Still have them. Yeah, and they're they're young men now. So
young men, yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Joe. This has been a pleasure. We really enjoyed this.
I enjoy being here. Thanks for having me.
And I wish you success. International Mango Day. I know that will go very well. And then for your Juve Jam and your Vintage Village, I'm so glad that you had the foresight to collaborate with so many local entrepreneurs, giving them a platform that probably some of them wouldn't have had hadn't it been for you. So thank you so much. We appreciate that. And we would love to encourage more of that among the various entrepreneurs. All right, folks. So it's a wrap. You take care. Have a good evening.
You
Bye,
too.
everyone.
Bye.